Hold on to your mug. We're in for a wild night.
Greeting, traveler.
Welcome everybody to episode 69 of Born to be Wild, a Wild exclusive Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends, talking about the Wild format of Hearthstone and spotlighting members of the Wild community. I'm your host, as always, Nate Wolf. It is great to be back on another beautiful Friday evening here in Portland, Oregon, joined, of course, by two of my favorite people. Hydra Sheep, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing awesome, coming at you from the greater Vancouver area, and it is also beautiful. It's finally a bit of a cooler day, so I can definitely appreciate that. I'm super stoked for the show tonight. Let's do this, guys.
Love it. Electric Sheep City, welcome back. How are you tonight?
Okay, let's do this. I'm good, buddy. Thanks for asking. It's a fantastic day here in Texas, and ready to hang out with some buds. Let's go.
Very cool. And y'all, we got a very special guest joining us tonight. We've got Wild legendary Hearthstone player, streamer, with like the best, most gorgeous hair that I've ever seen. It's very nice. Praise Chicken Drumstick. Welcome to the show.
It's great to have thank you so much for having. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
thank you so much for having me today. It's, on this particular super great episode of the number 69. That came out so wrong, but I'm just overwhelmed by my excitement, and my grammatical capabilities have all been thrown out the window.
I love it.
And yes, hailing from California, where the suns are shining too bright, unfortunately. Super happy to be on the show tonight. Take it away, man.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Hey, so for people who may not be as familiar with you, can you give us a little intro? Tell us a little bit about yourself, just as much or as little as you're willing to share. But like, who is PCDS? Say how'd you get started playing Hearthstone, and whatever else you feel like sharing.
Oh yeah, so it actually started more or less when I was in high school. A lot of my friends were starting to pick up the game when Old Gods was released, because some of them were playing WoW since they were really young. So they were like, "Hey, look at these cards. They got Old Gods in there." And it's like, in my RPG game, it's like, you should play this game too. And I was like, okay, yeah, these cards look pretty cool. And then I was like, yeah, let's go. And then I played Standard for, I think I played Standard for 2 or 3 years, and up until when Baku and Gin got rotated, that I started playing Wild. And then when Leroy was rotated, I was like, nope, I'm out of here. I'm playing Wild full time. It's like, you don't want me to hit face? Well, too bad. I will find a way to hit it somewhere. And that turns out to be Wild.
That's great.
And that's to my name.
Oh yeah, so we asked this. Yeah, man, we asked this question to everybody that ever comes on the show. It's always, hey, how did you come up with your username? And Praise Chicken Drumstick is I've been wondering this for a long time. I'm excited.
It's very unique.
I think you're about to be hugely disappointed when I tell you why that came to be. You see this thing. Poultry, when cooked properly, well, assuming you're not vegetarian or vegan, is quite tasty. All right? And one day, I was looking at a drumstick. I was like, you know what? You taste pretty good. Why don't I base my persona off of this? I'm sure people will take me seriously. And it happened. My battle tag is now related to chicken. It's actually not exactly Praise Chicken Drums. It's actually GG Domesticus, which stands for Gallus Domesticus, which is the technical name for domesticated chicken. So, more information.
I like it. No, I was looking at that, right? Because I was like, wait, I think you're on my friends list, right? Wait, I don't see you there. And then I saw that it was the GG Domesticus, and I was like, wait a minute, those don't match. So hearing the story behind that is so funny. I love that.
That's hilarious. Now, how much chicken do you actually eat? Is this like a regular thing?
See, Technically speaking, I depend on my parents currently to provide food for me.
Mm-hmm.
But they also like chicken, so there I have that. So it's probably a weekly basis that I actually get to have a nice pot of chicken stew that my mom makes. Mom.
Dude,
Nice
awesome.
shout outs to mom.
Oh yeah,
You know-
I love her so much.
MVP. Yeah.
It's really nice to put a face to the name because I feel like I have seen you in multiple chats, like on Twitch over the years. Like I'll be in any like wild streamer, even some standard streamers, and theirs praise Chicken Drumstick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, everywhere, all the
In
time.
all of them, like all of the time. Like this person's here all of the time. I just end up seeing you there all the time. So it's really nice to be able to talk to you now, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad to talk to you too.
That's great. That's great.
So's your face.
Got me. Oh.
Second the notion.
Every time. So when your friends convinced you to give this a shot, like how much other Blizzard games did you play? Like, did you play a lot before, or what's the story there?
Actually, before that, I didn't play a lot of games. I was more or less the nerdy person that for some reason doesn't play video games. Shout out to all the nerds out there. I did play some StarCraft 2 back in the days, especially since I grew up watching gaming channels that played StarCraft 1 and watched all the tournaments. I didn't really know how to play the game. I was like, oh, look at these three races. They're like beating each other up. That's so cool. I was like, yes. The second one came out, I was like older, so maybe I'm capable of playing RPS now. Turns out to be not true. Still terrible at the game, but it was a lot of fun.
So would you say that whenever you were younger, you had no time for games like Sylvanas?
I had time for physical activities, but now I cut down on those to make time for games. I wonder if that's a good thing.
I saw this meme a while back. I wish I had it for the screen, but it was, or it's like a comic strip, right? Where the guy is got like these things stacked up, or like the pie chart or whatever, and it's like eat, sleep, video games, work, and like trying to fit them all in, and he was like looked super nervous, like pulling out the sleep one to stick the games one in.
I relate to that so much, especially when I'm in college on campus. It's like, okay, I study for an entire day. It's midnight. I haven't played video games yet. Well, too bad. Something's got to go.
You've already done the studying, so I guess sleep is the one that's out.
Well, yeah. Hey, what are you studying in school? I remember seeing it somewhere. I think it was on your Twitch page, and thinking like, "Oh my god, that sounds intense."
Biochemistry.
Ah, yes, that sounds intense.
Yeah, would not recommend.
yeah, I feel you there. If anyone out there wants to go to law school, talk to me and I will talk you out of it.
At this point, if someone wants to go to medical school, I would probably talk them out of it because I'm studying for it. It's not the most amount of fun that I've had.
How much time do you have left doing it?
Actually, I'm still doing pre-med, so I still need to study for the admission test. And then I need to do 4 years of medical school, and then I need to do, like, between, 4 to 10 years of residency. And then I get to be a doctor, and then I'll be like, I have the student loan to pay off. Sucks to be me, I guess.
Oh, bro, you are speaking my language. It's the same thing with law school. I mean, it was eight years. Like, it's, college plus another 4 of law school. It's funny that you bring it up. So, you know who Meaty is?
Meaty?
Tom Whalen. He posted something earlier today. He's a doctor. He says, this is from today, earlier today. He says, finished my first 6 months in general practice, just 1 year away from completing my training, 10 years since I started med school. And I was
That's
like,
accurate.
wow, that's crazy. I mean, it's super impressive too. So, big shout out. That's really awesome.
Hopefully not kill any patients. We'll see how that goes.
Well, there's that. No pressure. Hey, I saw that you refer to yourself as like a metalhead. You like heavy metal music. Tell us about that. What type of?
Oh yeah.
Do you have any music recommendations? I'd like to hear.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to give you something on the lighter end. Maybe some of it you've already heard. So actually, let me start with how I even got into metal. It's actually I got it from my drum teacher. I actually had a passion for drumming.
Dude, that's rad. Okay,
That's so cool.
I guess that actually has a part to do with my username that I didn't mention because at the time of me immediately making my username, I thought it was completely unconnected. But no, I actually do praise the drumsticks. I still mess with them every day. Pretty bad at it, but that's what a hobby is, I suppose.
Yeah.
And my teacher really liked Marilyn Manson. And he was like, hey, check this out, check out this song. I was like, it sounded like noise, at least to the very young me.
Mm-hmm.
Until I listened to the rock bands that are between metal and rock, like Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden.
Let's go Sabbath.
Yeah.
And then I was like, bruh, this thing slaps. And then there was no turning back. And I kept going heavier and heavier until now I listen to just about everything that anyone's willing to recommend to me. Like, ranging from classical music to death metal, yeah. Yeah, I can take all of it. So, yeah.
I love
That's
it.
cool. You might appreciate my my vinyl collection of Black Sabbath and all the old school metal stuff I've got.
Let's
Nice.
go!
Yeah.
You take those vinyls out for spins every now and then?
Oh, I do.
Let's go. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, my guilty pleasure is baby metal, which is probably sacrilegious, but it's just so fun. It's so fun.
It is fun.
My wife says it sounds like anime soundtrack, which is accurate.
It does.
And one thing that so growing up, we played a lot of Guitar Hero, and my brother learned how to play the Through Fire and Flames from Dragon Force.
Whoa.
And then, really good, right? And then I started watching, a lot of times when we're playing games or whatever, I'll watch YouTube, and the lead guitar player from Dragon Force, who I know his name and I can't think of it off the top of my head now, has got a pretty big YouTube channel, and he does all these comment videos and stuff now as well. But anyways, it's been a blast watching that stuff. And then I started checking out this baby metal, like, what is that? And then I saw it, and it was just, my brain like exploded, like, what
It's
is
fun.
this? Like,
It's just fun. It really is.
Yeah.
well,
Fun music.
and I mean, and maybe it's, I don't know. Hold on. They're the kind of crossover, whatever, that they did with Bring Me the Horizon. Was super fun as well. And it's just, it's like such weird competing styles all jammed into one song. That like your brain, if you hear it for the first time, your brain short circuits a tiny bit. It's quite interesting. They shift gears like multiple times between. Well, anyways, you just need to hear it.
Drumstick. We'll have to talk later on bands. I made it a goal of mine in my younger years to see all of my favorite metal bands. So I started off with everything thrash. Like, I've seen Megadeth like at least 6 times.
Yeah.
Anthrax, Slayer, Metallica, all those guys. Fear Factory,
Dude.
Like, I've
wow.
seen I've seen them all. I've seen Maiden multiple times. Like,
I'm jealous.
Children of Bodom, which you can no longer.
I would love to see them.
You can no longer see them. Motorhead, which you can no longer see. Just like all of them. I had a list of like 200 bands that I've crossed off of like all my favorite.
Dude, wow.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
It was like a mission of mine to see every band that I loved, even like cheesy ones that people don't care about, like Poison. I even want to see Poison. Who does that?
My best like concert story was the show Metalocalypse, based around Death
Yeah.
Clock, the fictional
Death
band.
Clock.
Well, so they would go on tour. Death Clock would go on tour, and they would have like a whole lot of different. things up, and it was just a blast. It was so metal. Saw like Mastodon open for them. Mastodon open for them.
Mastodon.
Like, what?
Oh, you're
It's crazy. And so, we're like in the pit, and this dude keeps on just like putting his arm like right in my face. I'm like pushing him away, like, dude, stop doing that. So he keeps on putting his arm in my face. So I bit a guy because he put his arm right in my face.
That's awesome.
Like one of the most Metalocalypse things. Went to a Deathclaw concert, bit a guy.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And now, guilty moments with Electric Sheep City.
I bit someone.
Wow.
He just kind of looked back at me and then laughed, and he stopped putting his arm in my face.
That's
We were
rad.
good.
I love it. I love it.
You will do anything in the pit at a Megadeth concert. The drummer Nick Menza threw out a drumstick, and I caught it in one hand, and another guy caught it in his hand, and it was a scrap. It was a fight to the death over this stupid drumstick, and guess what? I have the drumstick.
Let's go.
Case in point, you're still alive. It was a fight to the death.
In the pit, you fight or die.
Oh my god. I love these stories. This is wonderful. I've been to a handful of shows, but like all of mine are like hip hop concerts or hip hop shows where you just and like you don't really do anything except stand and watch. Like they're fun. But it's very
Hop around.
it's a little
are nice.
different. It's a little different. Wow. Great stories, you guys. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's move on a little bit before we get too carried away. Hey, we are doing a couple of giveaways on the show tonight. So for the people who are listening here, we're doing 2 giveaways tonight. So one is for the contest that we had last week, which was to go into our Discord channel and post something in the contest entries section about your best experience with the Hearthstone community. We got almost 100 responses, and it was like the most wholesome thing that I've seen in such a long time. It was quite wonderful. And so we will pick that winner tonight live on the show at the end. We're also going to give away another standard bundle tonight for those people who are hanging out watching live. So we'll just go through the list of people who are here watching, jam you all into the wheel to side and spin the wheel and give one away live on the show. And a big thank you to the folks over at Hearthstone who gave them to us to give them to you, which is super rad. So looking forward to that, and we will jump back on that at the end of the show.
Sounds great. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Well, let's move into the weekly recap. Let's see how everyone's doing in the world of Hearthstone, gaming, life in general. Nate, let's see how you're doing. What's been going on, man?
Yeah, I've been having fun with I'm all pumped for the new Stormwind stuff. So I've been kind of eating up. They posted a bunch of their on the I don't know if you guys follow this or not, but they have the press page where they post all of their press releases, but they also post their videos there, their high res artwork and all that stuff. And that's where I go to grab art clips to chop up in Photoshop to make our backgrounds and stuff here, which is maybe a good segue to say there is a video version of this show that we do live and then post to YouTube. There's the audio version of this show that is on all the podcast apps. If you have not watched it live or watched it on YouTube, I recommend it sometime because we do a lot. There's like graphics and stuff that are fun, in my opinion. Anyways, so I've been getting all excited for the new set to come out with the new artwork, and I've been spending a lot of time photoshopping over the past week, and I'm really looking forward to something new. So that'll be a lot of fun. Aside from that, I've been playing a lot of Steam games, kind of camping in Hearthstone because I'm sitting at like top 200 right now. I fell out of top 200, played like one game, gained 30 ranks back to like I was at like 210, jumped in, played one game, won it, got back to 190, and then just sat there, and I'm back to 210 right now, but it's been a week. And so it's been weird because I like to play the game and I feel like I'm intentionally not playing the game because I don't want to tank my rank, which is so weird. So like I've been playing a lot of Battlegrounds. I did the Kurtris solo content over the past week, and that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I decided to save the pack, right, until the new set comes out because I have all the Demon Hunter cards. That one, so we got the the Tavern Brawl, and I double checked, and that was Phoenix cards, and I was like, okay, I'll open those. But the Demon Hunter pack will be quote unquote Demon Hunter standard cards, and so when the new set drops, I'll open those to get hopefully new cards. So that was cool.
Doing it right this time.
Trying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We thought we were so smart last week.
Oh god, yeah. She Hydra and I last week thought we were so smart to save our Phoenix packs, and then realized like, oh, Phoenix, that's last year. Whoops. So, but yeah, I've been playing a lot of Steam stuff. One of my favorite game series was the Thief series. So they had Thief, The Dark Project, The Metal Age, Deadly Shadows, and then the re-release, and they were on Steam for like $1 each. And so I got them. And I was trying to make it work with the Xbox controller, plugging it into the PC to play, and like the support there just sucks. For some games, it's great. For those, it like
unfortunate.
And you can play with mouse and keyboard, okay, but there's so many controls that like, I mean, there's like 20 buttons on the keyboard, and the third game came out like it was an Xbox exclusive, and I think PC at the time as well. But it was designed for Xbox. The controller worked great. And so I was hoping that it would work, and it just doesn't. And so I was like, well, I've got other stuff going on. And so I've been watching other people play it on YouTube all week. Like, at least I can relive it that way. And that's checked that particular box for me. In other news, I did a co-op last night. Over the past couple of days, we did some Battlegrounds with the folks in Discord, which was a lot of fun. And then last night, Jordan from the People's Champ podcast and I did some ladder co-op, and he hit legend when we were playing together with Galakron Shaman, and it was a lot of fun. It was just so much fun hanging out and chatting and playing together. And for me especially, no pressure, because it's not my rank that we're destroying over here. we went 6-1 to hit legend, so big congrats to Jordan. But I had a lot of fun hanging out with him. He's an awesome guy, and they have a fun podcast. So that's the deck that I want to talk about tonight, because that's what I've played the most recently, and it was a lot of fun. So we'll talk about that later. In movie news, they put the Blade trilogy up on HBO, and so I watched the first 2 movies, and I'm like just started into the third, and like let's talk about guilty pleasure. Like, they're not good, but they're fun. And so that's kind of what I've been up to this week. Sheep, what about you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, so of course work has been busy. So I'm just going to leave it at that, because that's just the case. Like,
we could probably just say that that's like standing news from now on.
It'll actually be news if it's not busy, right?
Oh gosh, that'd be great. One of these days.
So outside of that, in gaming news, been having a lot of fun doing more Sea of Thieves shenanigans. Just mostly doing like tall tale reps for commendations and stuff like that. So nothing too exciting. No great stories like I had last week. That was really exciting. I did hit legend in both wild and standard,
dude.
So
congrats. That's
wild
great.
Thank you. Wild was before after they officially announced that Gibberling was being hit, and then standard was this morning before work, I think. Because, it was right after Nas Day, because I almost got there with my Nas Hunter and didn't quite get there. Went from Diamond 5, just wanted to play some Nas games on ladder. Got all the way up to Diamond 1 with Nas Face Hunter. But then, alas, for Nas Day was
so close, it's so far away.
Yeah, and I was Diamond 1, so finished it off this morning before work. So got there in both of those, so now I'm starting on grinding Classic a little bit. Haven't been Legend in Classic yet. The highest I've been is in like the High Plat, just because, whenever you don't have a star multiplier, you get to try and get a star multiplier.
Yeah, yeah, it's a grind, hey?
So eventually I'll get there, but it's just a lot of different game modes to play in the amazing game that we love. Before too long, I'll be trying to juggle mercenaries in there too. Been playing a few battlegrounds. reattained my 5K there. Battlegrounds is fun, but definitely not like my main mode or anything like that. So it's been an action-packed week, as I'm sure you could tell. How about you, Chicken? What has been going on in the poultry town?
Oh man. Oh yeah. Okay. Remember how I was talking about? I was studying for the medical college admission test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moment of silence for me. Anyway. And aside from that, I actually did play a good amount of games, and I guess the most fortunate or unfortunate things that I started playing League of Legends. Please don't kill me, chat. It's like, I'm having such a good time. I'm like getting kills and stuff. Oh, this person's calling me bad names. Oh, that's great. I'm feeling so much better about myself. No, I'm not.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Yep, but there's that. It's just a new game that I've picked up. It's actually a lot of fun if you play with friends. Not so much if you're not playing with your friends.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yep. And as for Hearthstone, I actually haven't been playing a lot of Wild, surprisingly. Last month, I was so preoccupied with other things, I didn't actually hit Legend. But it turns out, if you don't lose, your MMR doesn't decrease. So
Nice.
I still kept my 11-star bonus, so
Ooh,
I guess
nice, dude.
So what I have to do is actually probably play this month before too many people get ahead of me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll probably lose it. But, depending on who you ask, it might not be actually a bad thing for you to lose it. And then you have the organic climbing between D5 to Legend. But after Standard Priest got nerfed, I'm actually happy to play Standard more again. I know it's a wild podcast, but I actually found Doomhammer Shaman to be a lot of fun. Please don't kill me, chat. Especially those I play Standard. Yeah, it turns out when you were already arguably one of the best decks, and another one of the best decks get nerfed, you potentially become better. In terms of meta, at least. And there's that. And as for Classic, the one time that I climbed Classic was the month that it came out. I jammed so many games, I got so burnt out, I was like, nah, man, I'm not playing this mode until like 3 months later. But I'll start playing Classic again, because I actually did have some of the old Classic cards. I actually crafted a lot of the Token Druid cards when it was in Standard that happened to be
I remember
in
that.
in Force of Nature Savage War.
It was such a fun
So
combo.
one day I'll pick it up and probably have people complain about it like it was 2014. It was a long time ago. Yeah, I guess that's about it. That's how my week went.
Nice.
Well, for me, I've been, as I mentioned before, I've been replaying Red Dead Redemption 2, and my trainee that I have at work, I've been chatting his ear off with it, and he owns the game too, so he actually started over again also. So now, like, every day when we get to work, we're like, oh, what did you do last night in Red Dead? And just a fun little thing to have in common with the person you're trading. It doesn't seem, so formal when you can...
Those screenshots look so good. They look
I'm subliminally sort of trying to convince Nate by sending him screenshots.
Dude, cost $100 on Steam. Like,
yeah, it's kind of expensive.
I'm the problem is, like, I saw, like, there's the ultimate version and the regular version, and, like, I'm not gonna buy the regular version, right? Because I'm gonna feel like I'm missing something unless the ultimate version doesn't add anything. Like,
I can't remember what you get with the ultimate, to be honest. It's like extra gear,
if it's like a soundtrack or something, I don't care, or an art book
no,
or something.
yeah,
but if it's like actual game content, then
A hat.
yeah,
I'm guessing it's a hat. I don't know.
Well,
it could be. I'm pretty sure there's guns involved, like extra guns and stuff that you have that nobody else has. That sort of thing. I'd have to look back into it. I know when it came out on PS4, I paid to have the bigger one just because I wanted whatever it came with. So I don't know. I'm sure it's probably the same thing for Steam. But another thing, Nate, that we can talk about super soon is I'm like this close. I'm so close to finishing Dr. Sleep. I've got like 50 pages left.
Oh, love it. All right.
And so yeah, I'm on chapter 18. Have you
cheated and watched the rest of the movie yet?
No. I still like stopped it like halfway through. I couldn't help myself. I had to do that. But I'm so close. Like I'm at like no spoilers. I'm like they're going to the place to do the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what. Usually when they make a movie out of a book, especially a Stephen King one, like they suck. And this one was really good. And part of it is that Ewan McGregor is just great. Mm-hmm. But it was actually like really well done. Really well done. So I can't wait for you to finish the book, then watch the director's cut. It's on HBO, and then we can talk about all the stuff. And maybe, you know what? If I'm wrapping up a book right now, maybe I'll get a chance to jam through it shortly as well, because I have it. It's great. I'd love to talk about it.
The book is even better than the movie, which is saying a lot.
It's great.
Since I've been watching, like I said, I watched the first part of the movie. Like they skim through a bunch of stuff. You have to, right?
You have to, exactly.
But it's still so far pretty great. And I'm like, there was this weird twist that's happening, and like now there's this other thing happening, and I'm like, I'm so close to the end. I need to know. I need answers. So it's great. Highly recommend.
Hey, if you liked Dr. Sleep, check out The Outsider when you're done. If you can handle, like, it's more Stephen King, but it's really very good. They made an HBO series out of it as well.
Oh, okay.
But
it's check that Outsider.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. It's quite good. In my opinion, of course. But anyways,
getting pencil, writing down.
Always
Outsider, and we're not talking like the Socias and the Greasers, right?
Stay gold, Tony boy.
I liked it a lot. They made it like a series on HBO, and it was good. They changed it up a little bit from the book, but not a ton. But overall, it was very good, and the book was just fantastic, like just crazy good. So I recommend it 100%.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
So I cheated and looked at the show notes. Like I'm excited to talk about this next thing.
Yeah. So yesterday, Steam made the announcement that they were releasing the Steam Deck, and just so happened to log on to play Red Dead Redemption and saw this big ad in my face that they're releasing a handheld console that is literally cheap. And they say pre-sale tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And it's the Steam handheld. It's literally a PC that you can bring with you, and you can dock it, and you can use it as an actual PC. You can install Windows on it. It runs on Linux. You can install Windows on it. Anyway, it said it was releasing for pre-order at 10 in the morning. So I, at work, was like, okay, I'm sitting on my phone. I am getting this thing. I need it, and I need it now. And I was refreshing over and over again, and people kept coming up to me, asking me questions. Eventually, I was
I'm busy right now. Go away.
I ran outside. And I we've got like a little area with trees. I'm like, I'm going to stand over there. And I'm sitting there like refreshing the page, and then finally it's like, okay, so I click the button, and I'm like, yes. And they're like, which model do you want? I click which model I want, and then how do you want to pay? And I'm like, oh, PayPal. So like I'm doing it, and then suddenly I get the error page, like Steam is not working. It's not working. And I even prepared ahead of time because I had never bought anything on Steam on my phone before. So I actually logged in like half an hour earlier and made sure I was good. And I actually bought LA Noire. I've never even played that game, but I bought it because it was on sale as like a practice. I'm like, I got to practice this, right? So I was like ready to go, and then suddenly it did not work anymore. I couldn't load the page. Nothing was going. And then I hit the button so many times to purchase it that Steam locked me out. They're like, you have tried to make too many purchases recently. No.
So did you pre-order like 10 of these or what?
No, it turned out just to be one. I did get it though.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we need.
There's only one pallet that they'll unload of Steam Decks for you.
Yeah, because I hit it so many times. But yeah, I just wanted it, and I got the pre-order. But the website, I looked up. There's articles later on saying that the website was just like down. There were so many people trying to pre-order at the same time, like right at 10 o'clock. The website wasn't even functional. It wasn't even loading. Like it was.
Wow.
It was, but this thing it's nuts. It's got 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM in it.
I wonder if you'll be able to play Hearthstone on it.
Okay, well that's the thing, right? Because they say, or Steam themselves say that you can fully install Windows on it and use it as a PC.
Well,
so then here's the thing. Now you could actually, if that's true, which they say it is, then you could put Battle.net on it, and then you could play like desktop Hearthstone mobilely. So not use the mobile client. You could use the actual real client.
Oh, dude.
Like the PC
big
client.
brain moment.
I wonder what the controls are like on that, because that may make some NOS games a little difficult.
They have these. They've got, so like your regular controls. The thing is almost like a Wii U, the way it looks, but there's these touch pads on the side that act as a mouse pad that you can use your finger, like your thumbs. So
Cool.
Yeah,
we'll see.
My wallet is crying right now.
Oh yeah, I know. Like they have the base model that only has 64 gigs of like space on it, and then it goes up from there. They've got 256 and then the 512 gigabyte. And I just said screw it, and I bought the 512.
Go for the good ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, I was talking about it with one of the guys at work, and it's like the difference between the middle one and the top one is like $150, and it's like, well, if you're already gonna do it, like, may as well do it right. I mean, I don't know. It's expensive,
That was my thought.
But yeah, I don't know.
Well, and it also has like what the top one has like nicer glass, and I think also has like exclusive carrying case and stuff like that.
It
so it's
does.
Yeah, it's got the anti-glare on it.
Yeah, if you're gonna get one, $150 difference sounds like it's about. You're getting your money's worth for the upgrade.
Yeah,
Very
well,
much.
Yep.
if it was my personal PC and they say $150 more and you could double your SSD, I'd be like,
Right.
okay.
We take
And then on
those.
top of that, right?
Yeah, like you just do it. So
Yeah.
All right.
that's what I did, and you know, I'm kind of stoked about it.
Hey,
So
I have not taken that plunge yet, but it's probably not too far away either. All right,
currently, I think like they'll let a certain amount that we're selling today, and then they open back up again on Sunday for more.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
That's the time you need to go for it.
Yeah, I think they come out in December, I believe.
Yeah, it's still 5 months till they're. And then even then, I pre-ordered it. They originally said December, and then on my email it says expect delivery by Q1 2022.
Shabate it.
Yeah.
Rip.
So and they're saying Q1, so that's like not even January.
It's up till April.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Oh no.
Whatever.
All right.
It'll
Well,
come-
let's
it'll
talk
come
about
Monday.
Hearthstone a little bit. Since,
Yeah. We got.
Oh yeah, of course.
since we are.
Yeah,
I like talking non-Hearthstone. It's kind of fun. I mean, hey, so we looped back. We could play Wild Hearthstone on this stream thing.
Yeah.
Steam. What are they calling it? A Steam Deck?
It's like a stream deck.
Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why. That's why it
Steam Deck.
confused me. All right. So
What
now we can have both a Steam Deck and a Stream Deck.
When I was Googling Steam Deck, Google kept trying to correct me to Stream Deck.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Actually, yeah.
I wonder if you can get a Steam Deck icon on your Stream Deck for integration.
Make my brain hurt.
All right. Well, Hearthstone-wise, I basically spent the last week just clearing quests because I was doing the whole 3 servers thing. Now we had legendary quests. We had Nosdormu quests. And every single day I was just trying to fulfill the requirements. So I didn't even do any actual laddering because I was just trying to clear those the whole time, which was a little silly, to be honest. It was like too much work.
But the 10 games of Shaman one's such a chore. I don't understand why it's 3 games with every other class but 10 for Shaman. Do they have a thing against Shaman? Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know, but I jammed Nosdormu in the Doomhammer Shaman just because. Like, why not, right?
If you can get a mirror.
Yeah, exactly. And I did have a few opponents actually play Nosdormu as well. And just so I completed the Nosdormu quest on all 3 servers. Just because, like, I mean, that sweet experience.
You were a glutton for punishment.
Gold.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah, I know. I have not actually completed the hero skin legendary quests on Asia or EU yet. I'm super close. I think I'm stuck on Shaman for both of those currently.
Yep.
So
10 games.
Yeah, it'll be a while. Okay. I do have Murloc Shaman on EU, so that'll be okay. But we do have some news, so how about let's transition into some Hearthstone news.
Heyo. All right.
Of course.
We have a patch 20.8.2, and as announced, we have some nerfs. They said there was going to be 3 balance changes, and we have Apotheosis, we have Renew, and we have Gibber or Gibberling, however you prefer to pronounce it.
Is it GIF or GIF? Sorry about that.
Oh no. Okay. All right.
I say both of them.
Fair point.
I've always said GIF with a hard G. That is me.
I don't know you. JK.
I said GIF too. I always said GIF.
It's one of those where people, it's like a thing. Like, you've offended my mom or my religion or my whatever, right? It's like it's such a touchy topic. Like, should we talk about this? Like, what if you don't want to be on the show anymore?
Sometimes between like one sentence and the next, I will say GIF and then GIF. So I really do use them interchangeably.
Ground, that must be the right position to take.
There's a peanut butter called Jif, and it starts with a J.
Correct.
What?
So that's why I went GIF.
The argument for GIF, I think, is that it stands for graphic interface, whatever, which is a hard G. So they said GIF. Like, but I mean, honestly,
color red, and whenever you have read a book, are spelled differently but pronounced the same too.
No. How have we done this?
We need a philosophy major in here, I think.
I know.
Right.
Like, if GIF stands for graphics interchange format, I guess it is GIF. I mean GIF.
So
maybe
I've seen that both ways. For example, scuba, the U is underwater, but you don't say scuba.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe I will now.
I'm a scuba diver.
I'm going scuba diving. And just annoying everybody. What'd you do on the weekend? Went scuba diving.
Scuba diving.
Scuba rubber dubba diving.
Oh man.
All right, so diving. Apotheosis. All right. As predicted, a lot of people were thinking this card was going to be nerfed, and it was. So it remains at 3 mana, but instead it reads, give a minion +1/+2 and lifesteal instead of +2/+3. So a bit of a hit there. We do have a dev comment. It reads, we are doing 2 priest changes targeting the burst healing available in the class and their generation capabilities. Let's start with Apotheosis. We are moving the buff down to +1/+2 to hit the card's general power and combo capabilities. While healing will always be a strength of Priest, we want to reduce the urgency felt when dealing with Priest minions. Currently, it can feel like you must remove every Priest minion because of the threat Apotheosis poses. A slight reduction in the buff here should lessen that urgency and make the minions post-Apotheosis easier to deal with. The other side of this is the whole Samuro Apotheosis combo. The punishment for playing minions into this combo is too much at the moment, so we'd like to keep some of that tension of resource commitment. We don't want the punishment to be a full heal for the opponent. The reduction in attack here helps get that combo into a healthier push/pull state.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean that.
We're not really playing this
how does it affect
Wild?
Yeah.
Right? so we won't see a whole lot of that.
Big fat zero. Yeah.
It's like can't kill a card if it's already dead, I suppose.
Yeah.
But at some point, there were people playing this on Spawn of Shadows to make sure that you don't die to the 4 damage per ping against decks that gain a lot of armor. But I think that ended up being just extra steps, because you could always play Seance, take the Spawn of Shadows back, and then play the Reno the turn after, and then kill them the turn after that.
Yeah, three mana is a lot to weave in when everything else is so cheap. So it makes sense that people tried it out and then cut it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the other priest card, and we had talked about these last week, was Renew. It looked like it just changed from 1 to 2, so 1 extra mana. I'll read the dev comment real quick. It says, Renew is going to 2 mana. Heading into this patch, we wanted to knock some of Priest's generation potential, as one of our main goals in Hearthstone is to have the cards you chose to include in your deck matter. We decided to change Renew specifically because we believe this change makes the largest impact towards curbing the chains of generation and Priest. At 2 mana, Renew has to be more thoughtful inclusion during deck building. Won't be generated by Wand Maker and takes another mana reduction to get to 0. While Priest Identity looks different in future expansions, meaning the Shadow Priest stuff, we wanted to take this opportunity to rein in their card generation and build a better match experience for both players. I think it's interesting because they do these nerfs based on standard, right? And so people were including Wand Maker specifically to get Renew, and then it was so cheap, like getting anything reduced down to 0. In Wild, we see this card played in both Big Priest and in Reno Priest, and so I guess my question is do we still include it in those? And I think probably. I mean, so, I don't know.
What I personally think is probably costs too much for what it does.
Maybe, right? You want to use it in the machine gun turns when you're trying to OTK, and
it's I think about mana, and balance changes as to how much worse the card get. So by doubling the mana, the card essentially got 50% worse.
That's true.
That's actually a very significant nerf. Typically, when we think of 3 health, how much mana is that worth? We look at a card called what was it, Holy Light or something? 2 mana heal 8, the Paladin card.
Yeah.
No one plays it. Although it's technically a Paladin card, so it's less comparable. The Paladin has even less healing than Priest, and they don't even. It's probably not in there. Oh, please.
I was just going to say, when we play Renew, at least in Wild, I don't think that we're playing Renew really to gain the health. It's that I want to play a 1 mana spell so that I can kill you with my hero power and then refresh it. And I can discover a spell that hopefully is a 0 mana, 1 mana, 2 mana, low cost. The health thing doesn't matter.
I mean, it's a nice cherry on top, but I do agree.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, carry on. Yes, this is a good take. I like it.
Yeah, but by paying 2 mana for a spell that you may not actually like, even though it's discovered, discovering is basically as good as drawing a card and drawing a spell, I suppose. But would you pay 2 mana to restore 3 health and then draw a card? I don't think that's something you want to do, even in Reno Priest. Because restoring health is less good than playing a 2-mana 1/1 minion that draws you a card.
I would probably rather draw a card than discover a card, because I would have put the card into my deck, and so it would probably more adequately advance my game plan, whereas discover, like you were saying, if we're only getting, like 5-6 mana spells, doesn't enable us to kind of continue to go off on our machine gun turn. But I mean, generally, your point is sound.
Mm-hmm. So you won't pay 2 mana to heal 3 and draw a card. So you probably won't pay 2 mana to heal 3 and discover a card.
Yeah, I mean, the other piece of it is that the longer Wild exists, like the larger the card pool gets, and so discovering a spell, like your chance of discovering a crappy spell, are much higher than discovering a good spell, right?
This is true.
That is true.
So
and an expensive spell at that.
There's that. I mean, I think that people will probably still experiment with it in Reno Priest, just because, like, what do we sub it for? Yeah. But with a new set just on the horizon, I imagine that there will be something better, and this will probably get cut if I had to guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Reno also had the additional bonus of going with Xyrella, if you're even running Xyrella in your deck, to get an early game deal 3 AoE, and that was kind of sweet. And now by bumping up that by 1 mana, in Wild, a turn's different could be life and death.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah.
So that hurts that combo very much too. So I personally don't think this card will see much play anymore. But, maybe this gets unnerved because it's only nerfed for standard exclusively.
Yeah. It's possible that one sees an unnerf when it rotates. Another one that I'm hoping sees the unnerf when it rotates is our friend the Gibberling.
I felt bad for you as like an aggro druid player. Like, this one didn't bother me, but I cried in Sheep, I think.
I appreciate the sympathy because I was feeling it. So the dev comment for Gibberling is that Gibberling is moving to 2 mana. Currently, Gibberling is the cause of many non-games, matches that are heavily lopsided in the early game and can have the outcome decided far too early. We want to lower the frequency of this occurrence, and Gibberling at 2 mana should result in many more games where opponents can respond to an early board of this little menace. So their rationale makes sense. Personally, whenever I'm running aggro druid, I like to have non-games. That's the whole point of running the deck.
I love that take. Because I don't care about my opponent, I just want to win.
Right?
Right.
That's great.
And at 2 mana, Gibberling is way, way, way too expensive.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Like we have one in Biggin. All of a sudden, this becomes a 3 mana 3/3. Why would I want to do that?
No,
my heart bleeds for this card.
No, this is Wild. We don't like to pay mana for cards. Come on.
Exactly. So at lunch today, I think it was at lunch, earlier today, I was trying out some aggro druid with Leper Gnome, and like just slotted out Gibberling, slotted in Leper Gnome, went 2-0.
Okay, I mean, that's cool.
A very small sample size. I honestly don't think that Leper Gnome was probably the right one to put in there, but I actively played it, and it actively helped me.
What you meant to say was 100% win rate.
Yeah, 100% win rate.
Wait, time. Send it to Neon.
Leper Gnome, new meta. Let's go.
You need the perfect thumbnail, YouTube video. Let's go.
I would be fine with them reverting this. Yeah. I would be fine with this getting reverted, like when it rotates. This one never felt that bad. I mean, like you said, blowouts, like that's what you want, right? And the only games that felt unwinnable to me were when you played Solar Eclipse into whatever buff and like buffed your whole board twice and like, okay, now I can't clear it. The Gibberlings or Gibberlings, however you want to say it, like whatever. Oh, well, rip. I guess we'll see what happens when they rotate. Anyways. Hey, so next up we have the Nozdormu. This is the first time, so they had the Noz Day. I guess it's been 2 months now. This is month 3, I believe, that they've done officially the 15th of the month being Nozdormu Day, because you get 15 seconds to do your turn with the new Noz if it's in both players' decks. So we heard that they were releasing the daily quest to go along with it, and they have. So we got to see it yesterday. So this daily quest is play 3 games with Nozdormu the Eternal in your starting deck, and you get 1,500 points points? What do we call them? Experience?
XP.
For completing this quest. So Sheep was kind enough to post a deck list in the Discord, which is a Face Hunter -1 card add Nozdormu. I copied it and played my 3 games before work yesterday, and 2 out of 3 were Noz. So it was great.
Oh, nice.
So
That's good stuff.
I'd never seen the little animation before with the little, the little loopy thing on the side of the screen. It was kind of cool. It was, nothing crazy, but it was nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I participated in Noz Day in both Standard and Wild, and I gotta say, I was a little disappointed that Wild didn't have as much participation, at the very least in the small sample size of games that I participated in. It procced, I think, once in the 7 or 8 games that I played of Wild. I played more Standard yesterday because I was still working on pushing for Legend. But even at that, I had about 4 games in the same kind of sample size, and then of course it scaled up because I played a higher density of games in and of itself. So it kind of makes sense because Standard has less, a smaller card pool to choose from. So hey, here's a quest. You can do this thing. You have the card. Maybe that's why they're doing it. Maybe they're just a little bit more tired of a stale meta. Who knows? But I mean, I was having a blast playing Face Hunter with Noz in instead of Knife Vendor. Face Hunter's fun.
7 mana 8/8 above average stats.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe you just start running anyway.
I mean, I play games pretty fast. Whenever I'm playing Face Hunter, I'm playing them really fast because I know the deck pretty well. So yeah, I mean, I felt like I was at an advantage. What about y'all, Chicken and Hydra? Did y'all play any Noz games?
Actually, I did, but not on ladder. It turns out people want to win. Funny how that works. But when I queued into Wild Casual, actually, I removed Ticketus from the deck and put in Nozdormu. And next thing you know, I actually had 2-4-3 games.
Wow.
When I had another opponent running Nozdormu, fighting with my tongue today. It looks like people are more willing to, do their fun stuff in casual, even if your casual MMR is also quite high.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to risk losing their ladder MMR. But it was a lot of fun. I think my first opponent was a big Druid deck that ran a lot of the dragons. And it turns out Nozdormu was actually a fairly large static dragon. So they just had it in there, and then we're having our 15 seconds turns. What a blast. It's actually a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I was really glad that they decided to actually make this a quest and make people try it out. Because once you do it, I got excited every time I actually queued into somebody that was also doing it. Mm-hmm. And then when I completed the quest, I actually kept it in for a while. Just because the games were fun when it happened. And yeah, doing Face Hunter was kind of like a no-brainer. That one was super easy. I was just what deck wins all the time anyway? And I may not even draw this card. I'll just pretend it's at the bottom of my deck. And it still stomped with Face Hunter. And I did actually play it a couple times too, on turn 7, just because druid, it's like, haha, check it out. Mine's golden.
Anytime that I played Nas, if my opponent wasn't also playing Nas, so we weren't doing our super fast turns, anytime that I played him onto the board, I have to admit, I also emoted the threaten emote.
Oh yeah,
You would have to.
for the cost.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was fun, and then I was happy because they have this quest, and it's part of the core set. So on my free to play accounts, it's just a card that I have, right? So I could throw it in, and I can do the quests, and it was great. So it's something that everybody can participate in, which I thought is really cool. So I enjoyed it.
My only complaint about this quest, like I wish that it would not take the place of a normal daily quest. Like I wish that they would have done like a legendary quest or given us like a pack for it or something like that.
I think the problem is people still probably have legendary quests active currently.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think if I recall correctly, you can have up to 3 like active legendary quests. Right, and so the quest line that they just dropped for the Fire Festival was only taking up 1 spot. So if they still had other legendary quests, then maybe. But if they still have those, then they're probably not clearing them anyway.
That's fair.
Just neither positive or detriment, but. Since there are 3 slots, even though the Fire Festivals is ongoing, I can see using 1 legendary slot myself.
All right. Well, what else happened over the past week?
We did have the Ixar AMA again. Since he was back from last week, there wasn't a whole lot to do with Wild, but we did have a question from our friend Martian Boo, who asked, have you ever thought of buffing some older Wild cards? I think it would be cool if some sweet build-around cards, for example, Kalamos, To My Side, or Canosaur, with underwhelming power levels could get a chance to see some competitive action and maybe spice up the Wild meta. And the answer was no. I think that the upside would be pretty minimal. We want to keep tabs on the Wild meta to make sure nothing is ruining the experience for anyone, but the goal for Wild isn't to inject any change just for the sake of it. So once again, stating we'd like to sort of, let Wild be, and we're only going to do something if something is, completely out of control. They don't have any plans just to shake up the meta for no reason.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, we get expansions and many expansions for the meta shakeups, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm really excited to see Ixar back doing these because, like, I missed him when he was gone for, what was it, 6 weeks or something? So
yeah,
that was cool. I mean, it's a bummer, but I'm not surprised at all. Last week there was a really similar question where I think someone had asked, like, "Hey, have you ever thought about making Wild exclusive content?" And we're like, "Yeah, no, not happening."
And I mean, that one makes me sad.
The rationale that they gave was pretty good, though, and it wasn't no, we don't like Wild. It was like, no, the teams that we have working on that stuff historically was working on the expansions, and maybe there would be some downtime between sets, but now that they're doing mini sets in between each release, that these teams are working on something like just back to back to back to back. And so, yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
totally understand that one.
Yeah.
We had another interesting question, and this will speak to anybody who enjoys having cosmetics. We had a question that reads, is there any reason why hero skins from duels and solo adventures like Dollar on Heist never were added to standard? The skins are super cool, and it always seemed like a good idea to port them over in a bundle or something. The response given was, we are considering having them as rewards for adventure achievements when we actually get those in. Those skins don't have all the work we normally do, though, like full voice lines and hero frames, etc., would have to consider doing that work, that extra work that they'd have to do to make them complete, or shipping less full heroes. So I think that's really cool because they've talked about adding rewards for adventures, things we've done in the past and whatnot, like XP points, or what do they call it, that we have the achievement points, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's super neat that it's something that they actually want to do. Is this something that you would like to do, Chicken Drumstick? Is that something that you would be interested in collecting, or is it not your jam?
Yeah, I'm so down to do it. I played a lot of the solo adventure content, all those that I could, like aside from those that are released before I started playing the game, and I couldn't buy with gold anymore. I think this serves to encourage people to actually try those or even buy those. I think all around it's going to be a win-win situation. Blizzard wins by selling more solo adventures. We win by getting more collectibles that we want to see. I actually super like this take.
I like it too, and I'm really glad that he explained the rationale, because it wasn't just because I could see, like, you know, last time they released stuff without the full voice lines and everything, like, everybody complained to the high heavens about it. And so everybody wants to complain. What is the joke? The running joke, right? I want a refund for my free stuff. Like, I will say, like, ever since Witchwood came out, like, I have wanted like a Tess rogue portrait so bad.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Or like Eudora. Like, I love these. These are great. And the artwork is ready. And so that was always my question. It's like, why don't they just give them to us? Like, the artwork's ready to go. Or Houndmaster Shaw for Hunter. Like, there's all these cool things that seemingly were, like, ready to go. But I totally see it. Like, if they said, oh, yeah, here, you can have Tess, but there's no voice lines. It'd be like, boo, hiss, boo, tar, feathers. Like, and so the response, I think, is a good one. Like, hey, like, we'll have to talk about it. Like, the art's there, but the voice lines are not there. And then he talked about the hero frame that they do unique for each one. And so that's the rub, right? Do you want us to potentially wait and get that stuff in place, or do you want them as, like, less complete? And that's kind of a toss-up. I could go either way on that. But I liked the answer. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys have any thoughts on this?
I really liked the answer too. I like that they don't just want to ship something out halfway completed. I like that they want to actually ship it out, fully fleshed out, and something to where I'm gonna, like whenever I bought Horseman Uther, it was cool that it had an effect to it, but he wasn't saying anything differently than Uther did. They changed that. Now he says things like, you slayed, well played, and it makes me really happy. Like, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
It would have been even cooler if that's how it was at release. So I think that the fact that they are putting it out there, that if they want to ship things going forward, that they want to ship it complete so that people have the positive experience whenever they actually either fork out the time and investment in completing the achievement, or the money like Horseman Uther was. So I like the take, and I hope that they do eventually release, like Tess, Eudora. I know that our buddy Hat has been pushing for a King Togwaggle. So hopefully we get a Togwaggle rogue before too long, in honor of Hat as well. So
that's great.
I hope that they get there. But I'm also pretty satisfied with if we do it, we want to do it right.
I like that. So okay. I'll go down a rabbit hole for 2 seconds, but I'll make it quick. So Project Management 101. Oh, you stop that. Okay, so Project Management 101, right? Ripple effect. And so when we push something out, we can't look at what just affects us immediately. It's like, what other things does this touch? And so it's not like XR said, I think it's really good. So it's, hey, the art is ready. Why don't you push it? Well, okay, well, the hero frames, the the voice lines, and then, hey, are there other animations? Like, well, we need people to animate that stuff, and they're all working on other things. And then Schmoopy in chat had a good point, like, hey, by the way, when you make voice lines for a character, you also have to do it in like 9 different languages or something.
Oh yeah, localizing.
Right? And then this stuff all costs money, and it's like, well, hey, so this is not as simple as just, swap it in. You know how mad people would be, and you know that the Hearthstone community likes to be angry about something.
What?
Is like, can you imagine we get Eudora for free, whatever, and then all the voice lines are Valera voice lines? Like, people would be raging so hard.
Yeah.
Well, and there are a lot of really cool ancillary things that they could include that, for example, when they rolled out Tyrande, right? Like, she and Malfurion have exchanges where they say things together. Like Malfurion says something different. If they roll things out, typically they like to include some sorts of interactions with either other heroes or other cards that then affect more than just the hero that they're recording the all new voice lines for, but also you get to get Malfurion in the booth to record new voice lines. Or please, I will always beseech for new Dame Hazelbark emotes. Like, just
no,
more Dame Hazelbark.
We can't do that.
Dame Hazelbark death sound time.
Please.
More specific interactions with Hazelbark too. That would be so funny.
Don't wake the trees, child.
Oh, they're so good. They're so good.
Sheep, can you do us dying Hazelbark?
Let's go.
No. I can't do that.
It's not appropriate for our audience. Oh, man.
Nate, I'll just put in some Murgles. It'll be fine.
Oh, man. All right. Well, so the card reveal season is almost upon us. We've got some stuff starting next week. I know we got a surprise bonus one yesterday on Coin Concede, which is really awesome. And then it looks like starting July 20th, which is Tuesday, they're going to start a pretty big card reveal dump, which is exciting. Always enjoy this. I know there was some discussion back and forth. I think Ben Hearthstone did a Twitter poll. It was like, hey, would everyone be happier seeing like one a day leading up to this, or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, this is how they've done it the last couple of times, is like the 2 weeks leading up to it. There's a pretty constant drip of card reveals. And so this is exciting. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it. New stuff is always fun. And so we, of course, will be doing our gigantic card review show. A little bit, kind of what we've been doing the last couple of times is that our card review show always takes a long time. So rather than recording on a Friday night, we'll record on a Saturday morning, just in case it takes 10 hours, which hopefully it doesn't take. We got it. We did better last time.
But it has taken 10 hours before.
Yeah. So next week we'll have a normal episode. The following week we would normally record on Friday the 30th. We will be recording on Saturday morning the 31st instead, to do our big gigantic card reveal. And hopefully we can try to streamline it. But
5 a.m. Pacific. I made that up. We turn it at 5 p.m. 5 a.m. Pacific.
That hurts. We will get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Anything that you guys are all looking forward to, or any sort of predictions or anything?
One thing that I did notice is that, like, the 20 images that they show is all being announced in two. Like, it's between the 20th and the 22nd.
Right. That's a lot of cards in such a short time period.
20 cards in 2 days.
Yeah.
I think they've added some additional ones since then, but it's still not a very elongated one, even at that. I think there are a few more, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, so they're throwing a lot at us all at once. So
And now-
we'll see.
Yeah, it now goes until the 27th, and the final one on that is the official Play Hearthstone one, which is typically the final one. So odds are at 10 a.m. Pacific on the 27th will be the final push.
Is that what that's when they're going to do their final card reveal stream or whatever?
Yeah. So each one of those is a hyperlink, and while they haven't announced that is the final one, that one hyperlinks to the official Play Hearthstone Twitch. So that's typically the final one.
Oh, nice. All right, I will plan my work schedule accordingly.
Did they say who is going to be doing the final stream? Who their guest is?
I don't think
Not
so.
yet. I know that Regis has said that he doesn't have a reveal, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to be the guest there. He's done guest stuff before. He's really charismatic. I always love whenever he does it. Of course, Kibler's also awesome.
I missed day 9.
Day 9.
Day 9.
Is he playing Hearthstone anymore? I honestly don't
No,
know.
he's playing Magic.
Yeah. But there are lots of great people who they can include into the mix there, and I'm excited to see new cards. And
Hey, I'm gonna go out on a limb and predict right now. Not this year, but give it maybe next year. I'm looking for a ridiculous hat. I mean,
Okay.
he's slowly taking over Hearthstone. Either that or he's going to get hired by the company, one or the other.
Our hat is a cool guy.
Oh, he's great. He's
absolutely.
a good friend.
He's already had one card reveal with Coin Conceit, the one last night. But yeah, I can see them including him in the final reveal before too long.
Before too long, there's what do you want to call it? Unstable evolution? Hey, maybe one day. Anyways. Good times. Well, I'm looking forward to it. New cards are always fun. Everything starts to get stale a little bit. So here's my question for you all. This new set comes out on the 3rd of August. Are you all going to try to rush and hit Legend before the new set comes out or wait? That's only 3 days, so it's not very much time.
That is only 3 days, hey?
Yeah.
That being said, the first of the month for us is a Sunday. The 31st is a Saturday. So at midnight Pacific, then we're Sunday. So there's a full day before the normal Monday through Friday work week hits. So there is potentially one day to just sit there and jam games all day. Now everyone has different work schedules and life schedules and stuff. So what works for me may not work for somebody else. But
hey, if you keep that 11x, that might be.
Oh yes,
that might be
please.
pretty possible.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan, anyways.
When I've hit the one time it's happened, day 1 Legend, it's been because it was a weekend and I was able to jam some games on the tablet on the couch. So maybe, but I'm not gonna. I don't think that I'm going to rush to try and beat out the new content, because let's be real, the new content's gonna come out and I'm gonna want to play games.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I love your mentality though. It's I casually hit Legend over my lunch break. I casually took a bath before work and hit Legend in the bathtub. What? How do you do that? I have to really focus and concentrate and.
Yeah, my one this morning was in the bathtub too.
We need to have a new segment on the show called Bathtub Legend or something. This is wonderful.
Playing games in your leisure time is one of the best things you can do.
Mm-hmm. That's how I wake up.
You know how Blister Guy does his walking to work? Well, Sheep could do bathing before work.
I might break TOS to do it in the tub.
Bathtub stream incoming.
Tub stream.
Oh yeah, tubs.
Oh my gosh, that's great. All right, well let's switch gears here and talk about. Let's go and get into kind of our meta discussion and deck discussion for the week. So, For this week, the deck that I wanted to chat about was the deck that Jordan was playing, that I got to kind of backseat drive a little bit, which is this Galakron Shaman. I've seen a couple different versions of the list. Lily Pad Lurker kind of comes and goes. Shield of Galakron kind of comes and goes. I saw some where I think there was the Firefly Elemental added. But overall, the deck is pretty much the same. This is a lot of fun. It's basically kind of an aggressive tempo-based Galakron Shaman with the Elemental package. I think we saw Elementals are big in Standard right now. Elemental Shaman is like pretty legit. But this runs most of that package with a handful of wild cards. So the Galakron stuff added. Lotheb is in here. And of course, Shudderwalk on the top end that will replay all of your invoke cards. And so your rushers are pretty cool. And getting the 8/8s with Rush is super awesome. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I mean, we didn't play a ton. I think we co-opted for, I don't know, maybe a couple hours. But like, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, the deck seems really solid. Also, like ice fishing into the Flurgle Toxfin combo for a board clear is pretty great. And yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It's pretty straightforward to play. There's not a lot to it. I think one of the tricky things is, like, in Standard, when you're playing the Elementals, you can pretty reasonably like play one every turn to keep that chain going. And I remember doing the card review last time, and our big complaint was, hey, this is a cute effect, but like then it requires the previous turn setup, which kind of sucks. And I think that's what's hard with this, where I've got like, okay, half my deck is Elementals and the other half is Galakron stuff. Well, or maybe a third is Galakron, a third is Elementals, and a third is like the other tech cards. And so you kind of have to be willing to play stuff for tempo and not necessarily, get your Elemental battle cry stuff. But at the end of the day, like, don't play too greedy. Lily Pad Lurker is still a 5/6 for 5. And, if you can set it up and turn something into a frog, great. But if not, hey, that's okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about it aside from it was really, really fun to play. And that's what I think has been missing for me a little bit from the game lately. And I enjoyed this quite a bit. And so I recommend jamming it. Had a lot of fun with it. And Jordan's a cool guy too. It was a lot of fun hanging out with him and just chatting. So yeah, he hit King Crush with the Lily Pad Lurker and turned it into a frog. It was pretty
good stuff.
Pretty rad. So yeah,
that's as good as it gets. That's pretty cool.
It
I like
was
to
fun.
see this, like, because it's not too often you see anymore, anyways, a standard deck once it rotates, actually become something in Wild. Like it's kind of been a while since that's like a thing, and to be able to play Galakron Shaman seems pretty cool. Like it's just something different, than what's the normal in Wild. So I like it.
I've been playing a lot of Pirate Warrior lately, and so I think the hard lesson for me to learn was you need a 1-drop. Like, you can't afford to get behind. You need a 1-drop, so hard mull for a 1-drop. And the Invocation of Frost counts as a 1-drop because it generates a 2/1 with Rush, even if you have to freeze their face. It's better than getting behind on the board. The Wailing Vapor scales really nicely. We kept joking because we'd get Cage Match Custodian early, but we would also draw the Whack-A-Null Hammer. It was like, hey, great, we drew patches again, thanks.
Basically, right?
But it was fun, I think. And then the other thing I noticed was like, hey, you can't be greedy with it. Like, you got to play for tempo, and it's tempting sometimes to make the greedy play, but more often than not, like, there are times when you have to jam something that feels not optimal, but it's better than leaving an empty board. So, and when you drop Shudderwalk, like, it's not going to do a ton of stuff. Like, don't greed it out and wait to make sure you get 2 8/8s. Like, just, some stuff is better than no stuff. Yeah. There was a Pirate Warrior that we actually like absolutely destroyed with the Flurgle Toxman combo. And like once they lose the board, like it's almost impossible to get it back. So that was great. It was just so fun. So anyways, I highly enjoyed it. I highly recommend it, especially if you're looking for something kind of fun that's also competitive. It's solid time, and big shout out to Jordan. That was a lot of fun. So anyways, what about you, Sheep? What have you been up to?
Yeah, so I've been playing a whole lot of different things. I actually, this week was so long, I forgot to mention it in the weekly recap earlier, but I did a co-op with our buddy Glare on Monday. Was learning some Dark Glare there.
Nice.
Pretty on brand. And so I was playing that before the nerf announcements kind of came out. So I was playing a decent amount of Dark Glare. I'm still learning the deck, right? Like I'm still definitely not there yet. There are a lot more decision points than I really knew. Like I can play against it fairly well, but actually getting the play pattern itself down, still kind of learning a bit. So played a fair amount of that. Actually ran into our buddy Schmoopy Daddy while I was playing some Secret Mage as well, peppering some of those games in. But of course, like I mentioned earlier, ended up hitting Wild this week with Embiggen Druid. So playing a lot of those buddies. That's the same kind of standard list that now is unfortunately null and void with our Gibberling nerf. Rest in peace. And then in standard, I played the aggro hunter with Nas Diamond 5-1 yesterday, and this morning the non-Nas variant to make the final push into Legend. So pretty standard lists, even the wild ones. But have been playing some spicy stuff lately for achievements, and was kind of returning to my laddering roots a little bit this past week. How about you, Chicken? What have you been playing this week, friend?
Okay, so as I've been saying, I actually haven't been playing a whole lot of Hearthstone recently, but I did find something that I personally find to be the Hunter's one saving grace in Wild. And it's Reno. Face You'd think Reno and Face typically don't belong to the same sentence. But I think they do. Even though a lot of people are even though the person that originally built the deck removed Reno from it, citing the reason that you're just trying to play on curve, and then after you pull call shuffle, you don't want to draw a 6-mana 4/6 that does nothing. I actually personally do find the full heal quite important, because greed is not the only thing that you're going to be queuing into, and you can always draw the Reno before you pull call shuffle. But in any case, it's kind of like Galakron Shaman. It's not the best deck. It's probably not even the strongest build, but that's fine. Not all decks have to do that, and you don't always have to play the best decks. Sometimes playing good things on curve gets you there. Sometimes it doesn't, and it's fine. But I just personally find the deck a lot of fun to play, especially with the new 4-mana Kazakas. I mean, all Kazakai are 4 mana. So I mean, the new one, of course. I think that's actually given the deck a very large power boost that makes it Wild relevant. Despite, my constant trash talking about Hunter in just about every single Wild streamer's chat, my heart actually has a special place for XR. So, if you look at it, I mean, you have your 1-drops, you have your good Secret Passage, you have your yellow cards, you play like a face deck. I mean, there's not much to it. Just like one Nate was talking about, the Galakron Shaman, you're just playing good cards. If your good cards happen to be better than your opponent's good cards, then you always get there. Sometimes they don't. But yeah, there you go. The Dino Tamer brand after the revert, I think, gives the deck a new blood as well. And the nerf on Lord Keeper Polkel is now a good thing, because you cannot put old Polkel and Kazakas into the same deck.
Hey, that's a good point.
Oh, hey, yeah.
So, you win some and lose some. When Pokel and Brand both got nerfed, I thought, oh crap, guess Hunter is dead in Wild. Nope! Turns out to be a good thing.
I keep forgetting that Polkelt is a neutral card. Like, I keep thinking it's a priest card.
Right?
We played it for 5 minutes in Secret Mage, like, months back.
And so we got nerfed.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, how do you get a priest card in this deck? Wait a minute.
It certainly does feel like one. It's like, wait, you drew Bran off of this. Weren't you supposed to draw Anduin? What's going on?
I feel that one.
That's funny.
That's great.
That's hilarious.
So, that's essentially my experience with it. And Hydra, what have you been playing this week?
So this past week, we have been just slammed with, having the Fire Festival and doing Nosdormu, and the fact that I always do this on multiple accounts. So I've played basically anything possible just to clear everything. So when it comes to Shaman, I've been jamming Murloc Shaman. For the Druid quest, I've been doing Embiggen Druid. I've just basically done anything I could, and then when it's Nosdormu decks, it was just delete whatever card I felt was the weakest in any deck and slot Nosdormu in. So nothing specific for Wild laddering in general, but just mayhem of trying to keep my quests clear. Like this week has actually been quite taxing that way. And once it's all done and over, I'm super stoked to I'm sitting, I think, at rank 3 on NA right now, and I think I'm at like the D10 floor on the other two servers currently. So gonna have to jam some games and step that up, but I'll probably hop back on some Pirate Warrior again because it's been doing me pretty solid. Old favorite of mine.
Face.
Can't go wrong.
That's right.
Go face. So this weekend I'm probably going to jam a bunch of that.
Nice. I would love to...
I'm in charge now.
Meow.
This is a different cat.
Aw. Your cat is very cute. I would like to go into like the deck builder, put in Nosdormu, and then just click complete my deck and see what happens.
Ooh.
I think...
and see what the most common thing was people were doing, because that's what it would do, right?
I suppose. I mean, I'm curious to see what it would do. Anyways, who knows?
Mm-hmm. I imagine that the in particular in standard, that the Demon Hunter probably has a pretty strong one with the Menagerie Demon Hunter thing that's already pretty strong. Just slot Nas in. Like, I bet that's
talking about. Yeah, if you grab a deck and pull something out, it's a dragon. I mean, there was a minute there that I was running. I'm almost to 500 on Demon Hunter. There was a minute there where I was running the new Alex, just because it was like 8 out of nowhere. I mean, and no, nobody plays it, but it was fun for a little bit. I never thought I would see that Phoenix, whatever, Alar in the deck, and like
unbelievable.
Talk about cards I never thought I would craft in gold. Right up there with your Skycap and Crag.
Right. That could be a whole segment. Cards I never thought I'd craft in gold.
Let's talk about when I opened up a Golden Darkness, dusted it, and then recrafted it like a couple years later. And
was it for Secret Mage?
No, it's for
they put that in.
It was for Reno Priest. It's such a bad tech card. I mean, anyways,
No, I mean, like, what deck did you put it in?
Oh yeah, no, I put it in Reno Priest.
Oh, you put it in Reno Priest. Oh, because I know people put it in Secret Mage to go against Reno Priest.
You could jam it in whatever. It's not very good. It's really not very good.
4 mana 2020. Must be good.
I can't remember who was doing that. It trended for a while, putting that in Secret Mage.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't. It was probably.
I mean, somebody does it. Like Corbett can put something in a deck and post it on Twitter, and everybody will try it for a couple weeks.
It was mentalistic.
It was mentalistic. Is that who did it?
Yes.
Oh no! Was he trolling us all? Was that a Rick roll?
Huge dust bait.
Probably, but he's such a good player that like I will try it anyways. Like he's the one that really like I spent a lot of time with him playing Odd Paladin, doing some coaching and stuff, and like he's so good. And so when he posts stuff, it's like I will try it. And that's the downside of having like a full set. It's like, give me the dust bait, I will play it, whatever. Crafting it in gold is a mistake.
Yes.
That was the mistake.
Was it your only card in the whole deck that wasn't gold and it just didn't fit, so you had to?
Probably.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Anyways. All right, you guys, let's move on to our weekly challenge. We had a fun one this week. So we had talked about last week wanting to do a challenge based around Stormwind because the new set is coming out. And for those of you who are new to the show, watching or listening for the first time, we do a weekly challenge here for the listeners of the show, where we challenge you to do some kind of zany board state or lethal or whatever in Hearthstone. And then whoever does the biggest, best, whatever thing wins a couple of packs on us and get some bragging rights as well. So the challenge for this past week was to see how many Stormwind champions you could get on the board entirely. So that would include your side of the board, that would include your opponent's side of the board, and then kind of the follow-up was, okay, not only who can get the most, but then like in the event of a tie or whatever, it was like, okay, we would fall back on their stats. And so whoever has the most combined with the biggest stats would be the winner. And so we had a handful of people participate, which was super cool. The winner by far is our friend Mikkel. And this is the board state here, which is just absolutely nutty. So not only did he have 6 on his side plus another 4 on the opponent's side, and for those of you listening to the audio version, the opponent's side has 4 10-10s and he's got 6 12-12s, which is just like absurd. And if you look at the full picture, let me uncrop it real quick. In his hand is one more 0 cost. So if that minion on the far right there, the tree ant, went away, like he could have a full board, and it was just absolutely insane. Schmoopy was participating. He said he noped out after he saw the picture. Like, how do you beat that? Like, that's just crazy. And they all buff each other, right? So big congrats to Mikkel. That's super cool. Great work. You blew this one like out of the park. Fantastic. Great job. Very excited to see that one. Anyway, so let's get to our challenge for this week for anybody that wants to participate. So we'll tell you what the challenge is first, and then we will share with you the method of posting your responses so that we can check them out. Sheep, do you mind if I pass over to you for this?
Not at all. So, in honor of our friend, praise Chicken Drumstick, being here, we have to praise the chickens in our own Hearthstone games as well. So, with Priest, have lethal with the biggest chicken you can. So, that can be any of the chickens in the game, be it an angry chicken, a chicken. Is that a different art?
Chicken, yeah.
A Gurubashi chicken. There were a couple other ones that we were looking at, too, like the thorium chicken or the homing chicken.
I think Mechatork makes some, yeah.
If it has chicken in the title, it's applicable here. Now, like usual, this can be done either on ladder or in casual. So you don't have to do it on ladder if you don't want to tank your rank. but it cannot be done against the innkeeper or against a friend because the innkeeper's too easy and your friend will help you. So can't be against those two, but ladder and casual are both applicable. We hadn't kind of gone over this a little bit behind the scenes, so I'm gonna pitch it over to y'all for a little bit for some discussion on whether we want to include the solo adventures for this, because I know that one of them, I think, is the Dalaran Heist, has one of those chickens as like a reward, or one of the items that you can collect along the way. I think it's in the Dalaran Heist.
It's like the poultryizer or something.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't have any problem with it. If it's a chicken and they get lethal with it and it's a big one, like, they're still going to have to compete with the other people and their big chickens. So if they want to do that, that's fine. The Dalaran Heist was different because where I think, like, when we look at old, like, Heroic Knacks or some of these other ones, like where you could build your own deck, that's one thing, especially years later where you can abuse it with, Big Priest or Mozaki Mage or something, Mecha'thun. But with the Dalaran Heist or any of the ones that were more like dungeon run theme where you build the deck as you go, they're a lot harder. So if you want to do that, by all means, like, please show us your
Parties.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, that's great. So yeah, this will be fun. We'll see. There's a lot of opportunities for different chickens, and so I'm excited to see how this will go. So
just remember, part of it is that we are praising it, so it does have to be in priest. So very, very important aspect to that as well. So of course, once you've gotten with priest your big old chicken swinging in for lethal, submit a picture to our weekly challenge channel on the Discord. That's how you enter. If you DM it, then we'll instruct you to put it in the weekly challenge channel, or we'll share it with your attribution in said channel, because we want everybody to know kind of what the current leaderboard is, what they have to try and take down if they want to submit a higher one. So be sure to submit it in the weekly challenge channel of the Discord.
Yep. If real quick side note, if you're trying to find the Discord, the easiest way to find it is to go to our website. It's borntobewildhs.com. There's a find us page. If you click that, there's a direct link to the Discord. It's a lot of fun. It's a great place. We will talk about that in a little bit. But yes, that's that. That'll be fun. I'm anxious to see what people come up with. So hopefully we get some participation. I've been trying to make little clips of this show as separate weekly challenge videos so that you don't have to wade through us chatting for an hour and a half to get to this part if you want to see it right away. So I'm excited to see what people come up with.
Yeah, the beauty of these types of challenges is when the first one gets posted, right? And then say it's a 12-12, and then people just start upping each other. I love the fun of that.
Yeah. And by the way, extra bonus points for the inner fried chicken joke here. I think that's just like the greatest thing. That's so good. That's so good. Very cool. All right. Well, let us transition and sort of wrap up the show here. But before we do any shout outs, we've got a couple giveaways. So I'm excited to do this. The first giveaway, so we're giving away standard bundles. These were very graciously given to us by the lovely community managers over at Play Hearthstone. So that's super cool. Very, very nice of them to give them to us, to give to you. So the first giveaway is based on this challenge from last week. In order to enter, to be eligible to win, you had to go into our Discord. We created a channel for contest entries, and the request was to share an experience, like your best experience interacting with somebody in Hearthstone, whether it's, a content creator or a streamer or just somebody that you met playing through the game. And it was like the most wholesome content that I've seen in ages. Like, it was so good. It like faith in humanity restored type of thing. So even now that it's over, it spurred the conversation amongst the three of us, like, oh, maybe we should just make this like a permanent channel where we could have people share their positive experiences, because it was so nice. It was just so nice. And the world could use a little nice, right? I mean, it was good. So we have gathered the names of everybody who participated in that. There's just about 100. And we will go ahead and put those up on the screen now. And click the button here and see who the winner of the Discord bundle is. This is for a standard bundle. So this comes with 60 card packs and 2 legends, and I think a card pack as well. You cannot see the names because there's so many that they're all really tiny. But I'm going to click the wheel live on the show so that you know that we didn't just pick somebody. You all get to watch the wheel spin. So I'm going to go ahead and click it right now.
Good luck, y'all.
Shoe on head.
Let's do it.
Hey, Number Theory. Hey, just so happens to be one of the patrons of our show, of a new patron. So that's super awesome.
Congratulations, Number Theory.
That is great. Mm-hmm. Out of curiosity, I wonder if we have what he had shared on the Discord here. I'm just going to look real quick, and I might have to.
So, Number Theory said, for me, the first Wild streamer I really followed was Cream Puff. He played so many fun Raza decks and kept a pretty steady attitude even when things would go wrong. I learned a ton from watching him.
That's so sweet. Cream's a great guy.
Cream Puff is super awesome. Top Deck Kings, when he was running that, was like one of my favorite podcasts ever. I'm sad to see it go, but it's very difficult to run a show, especially solo, after Tell left. And so that's super cool.
Cream Puff was actually streaming just the other day again.
Yeah, cool. I saw that. That's really cool. He's a good friend of ours. We've had him on the show in the past as well, and brought him out of retirement to come on the show, and that was awesome. He's such a great guy. So, hey, Number Theory, congrats. That's super great. Yes, question. If you did get the mega bundle, yes, you can redeem the standard one, so you can have both. You can only have one of each bundle. So if for whatever reason you already have the bundle, then we can gift it to someone else. We will reach out to you via Discord. We are going to do one more giveaway right now. It will take me just a quick second to get that working, because I need to stop doing that.
I saw Hydra's face. I was like, I wasn't going to do it. And then Hydra's face was like, oh, I have to, don't I?
You do. Okay, what we're going to do now is take a look at all of the people who are watching the show live, put all of your names into the wheel, and spin that, and give one more bundle away to the folks that are watching this live. And then we will talk about, we've got one more to give away after that. So a lot of giveaways.
When we announce your name, say hello in chat to claim it.
All right, I got it. It's ready to go. So,
all right,
let's do it.
Good luck to everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us, even if we had to bribe you to watch the show. All right, so I'm going to click go. All right, ready, set, go. Good luck, everybody.
Spinning the wheel.
Okay, let's do this.
All right.
Ooh.
Hugonka? Am I saying that right?
Hugonka.
It was one away from Jordan. I'm sorry. I saw that.
Hugonka. Say hello in chat to claim it.
Say hello, Hugonka, in chat.
Yay! Hey! Congrats! Hey! Super cool.
Now
okay,
that's the word "yay," not "hello" in chat to claim.
Technicality.
That's great. Okay, Hugonka, I hope we're pronouncing your name right. Sheep will reach out to you to get your contact info, and then we can pass along the winnings. So congrats, that's super cool. I'm excited about that. So now we have given away 3 bundles. We've given away one mega bundle last week, courtesy of Shokunin. That was super generous and awesome. Then we had one giveaway standard bundle from Discord, and then we had this giveaway now from Twitch. Another standard bundle. We've got one left to give away.
One left.
We will give it away next week on the show. And in order to enter this is going to be another one that we'll be giving away via Discord. So the idea is similar to last week. Join our Discord. If you go into the contest entries page, we would like you to post your favorite card back, and then we will go through them all. We will assemble all the names. We'll put them in the wheel and then spin the wheel next week live on the show and see who wins. You do not have to be present to win. That question came up over the past week. Whoever wins from Discord, we will just reach out to via Discord. But we wanted to do the giveaways live on the show, partially because it's exciting, partially because when we give them away live, when we spin the wheel live on the show, it absolves us from any potential accusation that we're giving away to them, our friends, or keeping them or whatever. So very excited to be able to give these away. So yeah, there's a link to Discord in the chat, or if you go to our website, again, borntobewildhs.com, click the Find Us page and join the Discord that way. So yeah, share your favorite Hearthstone card back with us via Discord for a chance to win a standard bundle. Super cool. All right. Well,
unfortunately, they don't call it a wild bundle, but we should.
I like it.
A wild bundle.
A casual bundle.
Yeah, classic bundle.
It's a constructed
tools bundle.
Constructed bundle.
All right, you guys. Well, that just about does it for the show this week. Before we exit, I wanted to say a big shout out and thank you to the patrons of our show. First and foremost, Shokunin, who is the executive producer of our show. And we jokingly call him the patron saint of Wild. He gifted a mega bundle for us to give away last week and has been supporting us from day one. We really appreciate him. And also big shout out and thank you to all of our patrons. So thank you so much to Disruptor 108, Claudette G, Daniel B, Wildcard, Aramorn, Ben from work, AJ Gomez, and Number Theory. And again, congrats Number Theory on winning that giveaway. Super cool. If anybody who is watching or listening is interested in supporting the show financially, can be as much as you want, down to as little as $1. There is no obligation at all, so I don't want anyone to feel obligated. But if you're interested in supporting us, you can feel free to do so. If you visit our website at borntobewildhs.com, and again, on that Find Us page, there's a link to our Patreon. Any support that you give us goes back directly to the show. Alternatively, if you're somebody who's on Twitch a lot, we do have some emotes that you can unlock by subscribing to us. So there's that option as well. Yeah. And also a big thank you to Firestone, who has gifted us premium memberships to their app. It's super cool, up and coming deck tracker similar to the Hearthstone deck tracker run by HS Replay. We've been having a lot of fun with. That is where I was able to pull all of the Dame Hazelbark sound clips from.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
If you're interested in checking out their deck tracker, it is free. You can get it at firestoneapp.com. Hey, Chicken Drumstick, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. It's been an absolute blast, and we really appreciate your time.
Yeah, it's been a great pleasure. I'm so happy to be on the show tonight.
Hey, for people who want to follow your content, whether it's social media or streaming, where can people find you?
Oh yeah, of course. If you want to find me on Twitter, you can follow me at PCDS_HS. And if you're trying to find me on Twitch, you can just find me via twitch.tv/PraiseChickenDrumstick spelled out. I haven't been streaming in a while, but once I have the time, I'll pick it right back up.
Love it. Awesome. Hey, Sheep, where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me around the internet at Electric Sheep City in places where that fits, like Twitch, and at eShip City at places where that doesn't fit, like Twitter. I can be found at those places on the internet, as well as, of course, in our Discord. Hydra, where can people find you around this internet?
You all can find me at Hydralisk_HS on Twitter and on Twitch. And you can also find me and the rest of this wonderful cast in our Discord, which I highly recommend that y'all come and check out. We've got a great community, and it's just a nice place to chill, talk about Hearthstone or whatever else is going on. It's just a nice wild hub for everybody to come and join. And I also want to thank Praise Chicken Drumstick one more time. It's really nice to finally put a face to the name, as I've seen you around the internet for a long time now. And once again, just thank you very much. How about you, Nate?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me. I'm pretty active on Twitter at NateWolfTCG. It's NateWolfeTCG. More importantly, you can find the show and everything related on our website at borntobewildhs.com. We've got a bunch of stuff up on the website. It's not overly complicated, but we've got links to our podcasts and the YouTube stuff. And more importantly, I think all of the guests that we've had on the show, we've got links to all of their social media and Twitch pages and stuff. So if you're looking for wild content creators, one of the things that is kind of a fundamental of this show is trying to support the wild community as a whole. And so if you're looking for other wild content creators, please, check out the website. We've got a whole bunch of people listed there, so you can check out other great content creators. A couple things to wrap up the show that I forgot about earlier. We did have a question for Chicken Drumstick that we forgot to ask from Schmoopy Daddy. What is your favorite poorly translated deck name when we have to read the China meta reports with Google Translate?
Oh, okay. Remember Stealer Warlock that we just recently got rid of for the better?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It was called the Horse Racer King. if you were to
That's incredible.
Explain, please.
Okay, so here's this thing. So on the China server, on the forums, they consider Wild a place where people race horses, and by racing horses they mean the speed by which someone can achieve lethal or combo. And Stealer Warlock pushed that to a new frontier, I suppose, and that became colloquially known as the Horse Racer King.
Do they run a lot of joust over there?
Unfortunately, they don't play a lot of Grand Tournament cards, which is a shame.
Wow, that's great.
Just Spawn of Shadows, huh?
Wow.
Yep, just Spawn of Shadows, the only Inspire card that ever sees play.
That's lovely. All right, cool. Hey, one last thing to end out the show here. Wanted to do something a little bit differently tonight and end out the show with a couple of shout outs. I'm going to go first and then pass the mic off to my co-host. So I did want to wrap up the show with a big giant shout out to our friends on Coin Concede, who had their 300th episode this week. And if that wasn't enough, they also had an interview with Hearthstone game director Ben Lee, and they also had a card reveal from this new set, which is super awesome and has got to be, I think, probably the first maybe Hearthstone podcast to get a card reveal. Maybe the Angry Chicken has done it, I don't know, but that's super groundbreaking anyways. It's just very awesome. So big shout out to you guys. It's super awesome. I'm very happy to know you and I'm happy to see you all succeeding. It's really cool. Big shout out to Jordan for hitting Legend last night with Galakron Shaman, and just thank you for hanging out with me and having fun chatting. And finally, big shout out to Guy Grumpy. I forgot to bring it up earlier in the show. It felt like last week, but last weekend he hosted a fireside gathering here in Portland. It's the first fireside gathering I've gone to in a year and a half, and it was family friendly and it was a lot of fun, and we won a couple prizes and it was just so much fun. So big shout out to Guy Grumpy. This is an awesome staple in the Hearthstone community. I'll pass the mic over to Hydra.
Yeah, so in the Wild community, I wanted to shout out our buddy Labore Sangre, who we've had on recently, and we had him on a year ago before. He's somebody that's always just like a positive streamer. He's always got a smile on his face, even when he's losing. And he just, he takes these ideas that he's had, and he's not afraid to play them like at high legend, and he'll push with these creative decks, and that's something that really inspires me as somebody who gets like ladder anxiety and feels like they need to play the best deck. And I see somebody like him who's just got a smile on his face playing these off meta decks and winning. So I just wanted to shout out Labari Sangre. Good guy all around. How about you, Sheep?
Yeah, so whenever we were having our contest entries where people were submitting the positive interactions that they've had in the Hearthstone community, our buddy Dr. BOMD wrote some really kind words about me, and I just about teared up while I was reading it at work. It really hit me right in the feels. So definitely a special shout out to Doc, first and foremost. Also, a big shout out to Sanosuke, who I ran into on ladder. They were playing Mozaki Mage, and I was playing Dark Glare, because that's whenever I was getting my Dark Glare reps in. They had lethal, sent the lethal damage to a minion instead, added me after, and had a really awesome and wholesome exchange. And like that was just a really like heartwarming experience there as well. So Sanosuke, shout outs to you as well. And of course, can't talk about Dark Glare without also mentioning the shout out to our friend Glare, who co-opted with me on Monday and had a blast doing so there as well. Chicken, do you have anyone who you would like to shout out to round us out for the episode?
Well, I guess this is less personal for me, but I would like to give a shout out to each one of you tonight. The hosts. Aww. And the people in chat. Thank you all so much for having me, and thank you all so much for watching and keeping us engaged in chat and whatnot. This community, I'm really in this format for the community. I wouldn't play it if the people in it aren't nice. I mean, I guess that goes without saying, but you all are the nicer bunch compared to the other games.
Aww.
Take it as a compliment.
Thank you.
I know it came out rather odd, but...
No. I love it. Thank you.
Wiser words were never spoken, and you heard that on Born to be Wild. Love it.
Born to be wild.
Born to be wild.